I'm Marty DeBow, pastor at First United Methodist Church. And though church life and worship, they're very different for us right now. We've heard this, haven't we? We are in this together, and we will see this through together as well. A little story to share. I remember way back in seminary of taking a student appointment in Bethlehem, Kentucky. It was in the hills. And as pastor, I would make visits to people in the congregation, house calls. Well, I don't recall the roads having well-marked names, and if they did, the congregation didn't know what they were either. There was no directory with addresses. I'm not sure that would even have helped. And so I'd ask the people, so where does Sally Mae live? And here's what they would say. Go a piece until you reach the creek, cross the creek, and take the first. No, maybe it's the second. Go across the railroad tracks and take that 2-track. Yeah. I got to say, I'm thankful for computers, and I'm thankful for smartphones. You plug that address into your phone and you hit go. I mean, years back it was MapQuest, wasn't it? You put the starting point and the ending destination, and boy, you could print that thing off, have a hard copy. I'm just confessing, I'm directionally challenged. I mean, I can get lost in an unfamiliar high school parking lot. I do not and I will not hunt in unfamiliar territory alone because I may never return. In John 14:6, Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. These are comforting words for directionally challenged people, and I can appreciate his description of himself. This is one of 7 I am statements describing the very character and nature of Jesus. Like, I am the light of the world, or I am the bread of life. In the Old Testament, Moses, God's spokesman, was having difficulty naming God to their Egyptian captors. So he said to God, so what do I call you? What is your name? And God said, you tell them I am who I am. Say, I am sent me. In a land of many gods, God made it clear. He is all things. He is in all things. He is the beginning and the end. And Jesus uses the same 2 words to describe himself. I am. Our text in John 14 is found in what is called Jesus' farewell discourse. The cross and his death is imminent. Jesus was preparing his followers for the dark days ahead. The days of sorrow and grief, days of confusion and fear. And Jesus didn't say to them, man up or get over it. No. Jesus pointed the way, gave them a roadmap when he said, I am the way, I am the truth, and I am the life. Here we have 3 affirmations. First, Jesus said, I am the way. It makes me think of when I was a kindergartner. When we as a family, we moved to Muskegon. I would walk a number of blocks to get to school, and I would walk past the park every day. Now, what I didn't realize, was that it was a series of parks connected to one another, not just one small park. And on the way home that first day of kindergarten, I decided to take the shortcut through the park. And I got twisted, turned around, scared, I cried. There was an elderly couple who noticed me, and they took me in. They called the police, and the policeman took me home. The elderly couple acted as the way. It was the police officer who let me turn on the siren. He acted as the way. They showed me the way. Jesus shows us the way. He is the way. And he leads and he guides and he counsels and he encourages. He uplifts and upholds. Jesus is the path, and we are to follow the path. And then Jesus said, I am the truth. Now, I've personally not known a time in history, in my own history, when truth is more endangered and suspect. I know people, and I've said it myself, I'm not quite sure what truth is anymore. The political climate, it is toxic, it is corrosive. News feeds tell their story, their own story from their own angle. Robocalls, advertising, it is a snare. And I'll never forget a number of years ago of signing mortgage documents. And there was, close to the end of those documents, a page that I had to sign to confirm that all that I had previously signed was true and accurate. Jesus said, I am the truth. He is our source. He is our sure foundation on which to stand. And lastly, Jesus is the life. Jesus has authority over life and death. He said in John 14:19, because I live, you too shall live. So how are we to respond in these days that we are living in? Perhaps a series of questions will help us in this. Just mull these over if you would. So which way are we going? Which direction are we going? What is your true north? What path are we following? What are we listening to for truth? And who has the final say? And then, so who's leading our lives? Who's leading us? Let us pray. Our God, in these tough times, when we find ourselves grasping for just about anything, may we turn our full attention and time, our direction toward you. May we listen to your voice and lead us in the way that we should go, God. It's in Jesus' name we pray.